Right everyone, WeaponCollector here. Right, I wanted to do a video on broadhead pistol bolts. George Sprav did a video recently of his game changer Saxon Warbolts, are they called? Mentioning that he'd created these new bolts that no one had ever thought of. Well, I've actually been making these and selling these for at least 2 years. And I just wanted to discuss them and discuss some of the points that he made, because some of it I disagree with personally with my own tests, and I will show you those as well. So yeah, these are the bolts I make. Sometimes the heads are slightly different, but as you can see it's a very similar concept to George's, with the hardened steel broadhead on the top and then a standard pistol bolt essentially, which means you can shoot these out of literally any standard pistol crossbow. As mentioned, some of mine have different heads, and at the current length these wouldn't fit in some of the magazine crossbows, but these could easily be modded to be shorter. You would lose some weight and stuff like that, but that would not be difficult to do, and I'll show you that. So the first thing I'll show you is I'll show you some quick demos of my bolts, these bolts, in similar things that George has done, so that you can see the quality of these bolts and these so-called weaker aluminium bolts, because you'll see that they're not weaker than what he uses, which is carbon fibre, is it? So here you go, here is the demos anyway. And then the broad head again penetrated very well. At least, I think, at least about 2 inches, 1.5 inches there. So there you go. There was the demos of my various bolts I've made. As mentioned, sometimes the heads can be slightly bigger or slightly smaller, depending on what I get essentially, because buying these heads, a lot of the time you have to get the cheapest one you can get. But you can see these are very, very strong. The heads of these are very, well, I've never known them ever to come out. I've known people to say they literally can't get them out of wood once they're in. Very durable, very strong. Got a decent weight as well. I think these, I'll show you the 3 different ones and weights. So this would be one of the larger ones with the larger head, a little bit similar to George's size one. This one would be 15 grams, or around about 231 grains. You then get a sort of standard size one, a normal size one, and this one is 13 grams and around about 200 grain. And then this one is a little 16 centimetre one, which is the same size as the one George makes, and this one is 12 grams or 185 grain. So you can see the size differences here. So that one would be the same size as George's ones, and my lower ones are the standard size for mine. But this one should fit perfectly into a crossbow with a magazine. So why do I think my aluminium shafted ones do perform well? Well, I can show you a visible demo of why these ones are better than the aluminium ones he shows. So George was saying that a lot of the broadhead bolts you can buy for pistols are made of aluminium and it bends and breaks easily. He doesn't use these ones though, and I'll show you now why these are better than the ones he shows. So the ones that George used and showed were these ones. I can't remember the make of these, but I have used these extensively and I found that they're not very durable. They bend easily, the heads come off easily, and the aluminium is a lot thinner, and that is why they bend. So these are the Anglo Arms ones. This one hasn't got a tip on it, but I'm going to show you a visible difference now without even needing to measure it. No measuring device is needed. This is a broadhead tip similar to the one George uses, and if you try to insert that into this one, the walls in this are thicker that it won't actually fit in. You can see that will not fit in. I'm pressing that on, and that shaft there will not fit in that bolt because it's thicker. So now this is a little bit of one of the bolts that George uses, and that just drops straight in, and it even rattles. And these bolts are actually the exact same thickness, as you can see, but the walls on these are a lot thinner, so that drops in, rattles about. To even make one of these fit into one of these bolts, this shaft has to be turned down so that it will fit in. It will not fit in because the walls on these ones are thicker, making them more durable than the ones he shows. So these are available now, and as mentioned, they have been around for at least 2 years. So if anyone's making game-changing bolts, you know, I think these came first, to be honest. And I'm not going to pretend I made them first either. Someone else may have, but I was the first person I was ever aware selling them with these kind of heads on. Yeah. So there's a link in the description if you want to get these. I've only got a limited stock at the minute, but if there's a lot of people interested, make sure you follow the store. You can join the store and sort of follow it. When I add more products, you can. And also, if you do want some and they're sold out, let me know in the comments and I'll get a load made. But yeah, they're pretty much exactly the same thing George makes, just with a aluminium shafted body, which I think is perfectly adequate if it's the right thickness. And also I've shot these out of the Horizon Redback, which is near on actual real 80-pound draw weight, which again I've got videos showing that a lot of crossbows that claim they're 80-pound aren't, whereas the Redback is, and these fire perfectly fine out of the Redback, so I'm assuming they would probably shoot perfectly fine out of the newer ones that are out now. So yeah, there you go. Broadhead pistol bolts that I've been making and selling for at least 2 years. So they're available now. Look in the description, there's a thing that says the shop, go to the shop. The only thing I would say is they're advertised as BH bolts, so it's broadhead bolts, so it would just say BH bolts to find them. And there's other accessories there if you want crossbow accessories. So I do a lot of what I would say quite innovative crossbow accessories. I do cocking aids for the crossbows, which are, it's a bayonet, I'll show you. I also do quite a lot of other accessories for the Tomcat 2 and the Redback XR, and they consist of cocking aid bayonets, which is a fully working bayonet, but it acts as a larger handle to cock your crossbow a lot quicker and easier because you can grab it with your whole hand. That's what that is. It's not sharp there, but it is very pointy, made of steel. I also make quivers for the pistol crossbows, slings, and you can get these larger quivers for these will fit on these stock extenders, or they're really for the Adder and the R9 crossbow. So yeah, there you go. Game changer bolts that have been around for at least 2 years. Alright. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope you found it helpful. I hope it made sense to why I still think aluminium shafts are good. It just depends which aluminium shaft you're using, because that is the difference. The ones he showed, yeah, they are rubbish. They're not as good as these though, because these are a lot thicker and a lot more durable. Right, don't forget to subscribe and check out the shop, and don't forget to leave a comment. Alright, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. See you later.